like it always happens. For me, like it always happens. Like my file get corrupted or I made a mistake, stuff like that. So I just wanted to save you guys here. So I'm gonna turn on the base here. Okay. So for today's lesson, for this session's lesson, I'm going to save as again, file, save as, because I'm moving on to a different thing, a different level, and this is going to be called sword model 05, and save. Okay. Alright. So this step that we're going to be doing before we could put texture on this asset and everything, there's a step that we need to do in order for it to happen, right? And it's called UV unwrapping. What is UV unwrapping? Well, let's go to Google. And what is UV unwrapping? So what is UV unwrapping? UV map unwrapping. Yeah. So according to AI here, it's saying UV unwrapping is a process of taking a 3D object and flattening its surface into a 2D layout called a UV map to allow the placement of textures. It's like unfolding a cardboard box to get a flat pattern you can draw on. This 2D layout uses UV coordinates to tell the 3D program where pixels from a 2D texture image should be mapped onto the 3D model, preventing stretching and stuff like that. So I'm gonna copy this here and I'm gonna paste this into the chats again, in the chat that we have here. Okay, so I paste that into the chat. If you want to take notes, you could grab it there. We could look at some UV mapping example. So for example, a character like this will have a UV map like that, for example, when it's unwrapped and everything. If you're wondering I'm gonna teach you how to do that, yes, I'm gonna teach you how to do that, like right now. Right now we're gonna do that. Okay, so and here is like another example of a human UV map. Here's the UV map of another character here, UV map here. See that? All right. So this step that we're gonna do is very important that we do this step. Here's another one here. Okay, now that's there. There's a UV map for like a creature. Here's a new UV map for a human face. Okay. So how do we do it inside of Maya? That's the big question right now. How? So you have to be under the modeling module right here. And I'm gonna move this and put this down here. Have to be under the modeling module. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select the sword like so. Make sure you selected everything, and I want you to go to where at the top where it said UV. Click on the UV and click on UV editor. It's gonna bring up this editor. Okay. Alright, cool. The next thing I want you to do is to just kind of put this off to the side and just kind of move your sword to your right. Just enough space so you can move around. And this could be expand in various ways. Give me 2 seconds, guys. All right. Okay, so with the sword still selected, and like you have your UV map over here, UV map editor. You're gonna go to actually what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go mesh, and after I go to mesh, I'm gonna go to combine. Actually, hold on. Okay, let me go here. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Select everything. Delete the history, and I'm gonna go mesh and combine. And then I'm gonna go edit, delete by type, edit, delete by type, history. So you're gonna see in the outliner that this sword is combined into one. It's been combined into one. So we need to double click on it, and we'll just simply name it SWORD, sword. That is it, sword. Name it. Okay. So now the sword is one, but now we need to go to UV, planar, option box. So the box beside of it, click on. Go ahead and click on that box. Okay, so now that you're in here, you're gonna click on edit and reset. We need to turn on keep image ratio, and the camera projection we're gonna need up front. We're gonna need a camera projection. So click on the camera here, right here. Then we're gonna hit apply and close it. As soon as we hit the apply, you're gonna note, I'm gonna big this up. So as soon as you hit the apply, I'm gonna scale this back down. You're gonna turn on your checker pattern. So right here, you wanna click on this checker pattern. You notice that if your checker pattern is even, it means your UVs are good. So, but we're not out of the wood just yet, guys. Just because you see the checker pattern all squared and everything, it doesn't mean that we're all good. Doesn't mean that we're all good. So we're gonna do a cut and like unfold these pieces. So this sword is made up of several pieces. I'm going to turn off the checker pattern by clicking on the checker pattern button. I'm going to right click and go to shell, right click and hold and go to shell. Select the blade. I'm going to press W on the keyboard to get to your move tool, and I'm just moving the parts. So I'm moving this parts away like so. I'm moving the guard kind of like so away. I'm moving this little part here, and I'm moving the handle here. Then I have these guys. Then I have these guys over here, like singular, kind of, you know, that I have to unfold. So I'm selecting them and I'm simply just moving them. How to move around in the UV editor? It's very simple. It's the same way. If you press Alt, middle mouse button, and hold, you could go around like this. If you press Alt and right mouse button, click and drag, you could go like that. You can even use your middle mouse button and scroll wheel and scroll in and out, in case you're wondering. Alright, cool. So the next move we're gonna do, we're just gonna like move these guys apart because we're getting ready to start doing some cutting. We're getting ready to start doing some cutting. So put that like so. Alright, great. Another thing I'm gonna check. Actually for the blade, I'm gonna right click here and go object mode, select this. For the blade, you could right click and go to shell, select the shell, and on your here I want you to just isolate click on this isolation button here, the one with the, like a square and an arrow in it. Click on it. Then I want you to minimize your UV editor, and then here's where you're only looking at the blade because we isolated. Alright, I'm going to right click and go object mode, and then go to your custom shelf, guys. Go to your custom shelf, and then I'm going to go to UV 3D cut and sew tool. I don't want you to click on it just yet. Just hold on Control and Shift and left click and add it to the shelf. Alright, okay, alright, cool. So now that we add it to the shelf, we're gonna click on this tool. And when you look at an object like this, it's like a two-sided kind of object. But what we need to do is to like do one cut down either edge, kind of like this. So I'm gonna go click on here, double click. I'm gonna undo that. So I'm gonna click here and click on here, double click. So double click, it cuts it all the way around, guys. All the way around, it cuts all the way. That is exactly what we want. So you just double click on one of the edge. Not this edge or that edge. You cut the sides because that's where you want the seam to be, and that is good. So now that we did that part, we're gonna go back to our UV editor. Press F to frame. Press Q on your keyboard to get your selection tool, and we're gonna right click, go back to shell, select the blade that we just cut, and then we're gonna go scroll down under your right hand side here in the UV editor, click on unfold, and you want to unfold it. As soon as it unfold, you notice it turns blue. I'm gonna select this one piece and I'll press W on the keyboard, move it off to the side. I'm gonna select this here, and then you could press E on your keyboard and you could just rotate it. So these two pieces here is for the blade and they're done. So you could just select both and just move them off to the side like that. Okay, let's move them off to the side, or you can move them over here. So where you see the red and green, make sure your UVs are in here. I'm gonna pause a little bit and ask any question. Was there anybody following along with me? Was there anybody following along with me? How about Zhao Jing? Hello?
Yeah, I'm trying.
How's it going for you?
UV.
Sorry?
I'm trying to cut the UV.
Oh, you try to cut it? Okay, cool.
So I select the edge of the blade and then what?
Okay, let me see what you're doing though. I'm gonna stop sharing. Alright. You could share your screen if you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I double click the edge to select the and then
after you double click, you did cut it. You did cut it, but you need to unfold it now.
okay, I fold it.
You need to no, you need to select. Well, you need to select the blade though. So you need to select the shell. Right click, go to shell. Let's right click and hold. Right click and hold. Go to shell.
It's not working. It's like I select something.
Shift.
I don't know.
Maybe you shift.
Yeah.
Shift. Right click.
And go to shell. You see shell?
No. You
need to go in the shell mode. Oh no, it's selecting everything.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not understand. Also, I'm not really understanding the language on your thing there. Can't really understand. Okay. Hold on. Let me go back to mine.
Yeah.
Right click. Oh yeah, you have to right click and hold, my friend, in the UV editor. So,
yeah, I'm trying, but
yeah. Okay, take your time. It's okay.
Yeah.
We just need to see what you're doing so we could assist you. How is Tyler doing? Tyler, hi.
Alright,
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just watching the lesson and I'm gonna try it afterwards.
Okay, cool.
Because it's easier for me to watch it and then do it afterwards.
No problem. How is your sword coming along? Did you finish modeling it?
Yeah, I was finishing up before class.
Okay, cool. All right, that's fine. That's fine. All right. All right, Jorgin, just let me. You can share your screen when you're ready again.
Yeah. I think I figured it out. I select the shell.
Okay. Okay, so you're in the UV editor. You need. Okay, you selected the shell, right? Unfold. So
Yeah.
go to your unfold and hit the unfold button. Unfold. Unfold is on your right hand side of the menu. Click on unfold. Unfold.
Here.
Yeah. Wherever it say unfold, let's click unfold, please. Oh, yours is saying manifold or something like that. That's what it's saying, right? Unfold.
Yeah.
It's not
All right.
unfold.
Okay. I know what happened.
Under this button.
So what I want you to do is click on unfold. I want you to shift left click on unfold. So when on the unfold, shift left click on it, it's gonna bring up a menu. No.
No.
I'm not really. I don't really understand the language on your thing there, so I can't really tell you.
This is.
I can't really tell you what to do. I
Okay,
can't.
I'm sorry, sharing. Can I do it again to show me?
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I'll share my screen and I'll show you what to do. Okay? For yours. It's just uniquely to yours because yours, when you try to unfold yours, I see like a menu come up and I think I know what it is really. So I'll show you on mine how to work around that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to include some. And see my screen again, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so this is for Jorgin issue. So in the unfold here, where you see unfold here, you could hold on shift and left click and it's gonna bring up this menu.
Okay.
So this is what Jorgin. I don't know if anybody run into I don't have to do it, but Jorgin has to do it because something is up with his sword. So you need to select this one here, Jorgin, and it apply, and it will unfold the blade for you.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So I'm not gonna apply mine because mine is not giving me that issue. So I'm gonna close this. That was just only for Jorgin, guys. Okay. So now the blade is done for me. So the blade is done. So we need to go to the handle. So this handle, I'm going to click on isolate again. And I'm going to click on the isolation button. And I'm going to minimize this and click off. So I only have the handle to deal with. And how do I cut this? All I need to do, there's an opening at the top, opening at the bottom. So where do I need to put my seam? I could put my seam. So here's my 3D cut and sew tool where I get it. I got it here. And I just need to right click, go to make sure I go to object mode, get the cut tool and click one of these edges. So you see that edge? I cut it down. I don't need to cut this side though. I just need this to be cut where I could just unfold it like, I don't know, like a piece of paper like this. That's the logic, eh? The logic is to unfold it like that. So I needed a seam down the side. Only one for this because there's an open here. There's an opening here already. So all I need is just to cut one down the side. And I'm gonna go back to my UV editor. I'm gonna press F to frame. Alright. I don't know what's going on with my here. I'm gonna press F to frame. I don't know what's going on with mine. I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna press Q on the keyboard, Shift UV shell. I don't know what's going on with mine, but it's kind of weird. Mine does suddenly have this shape. That's not the shape. I'm gonna unfold it though. So once I hit unfold, you see that my stuff, if I big up my UV editor, it's unfolded. So all I need to do, and by the way, to get this blue display, you need to go up here on your left hand side, the middle one, you turn on the blue indication. The blue indication means that your object is unwrapped. Okay, I'm gonna press E on the keyboard, and I'm just gonna simply rotate this and rotate. I'm gonna press R to scale, and I'm simply just gonna scale this down, and I'm simply just gonna, for now, just put this, scale it down, and place it somewhere in the UV, in the red. And yeah, Tyler, yeah.
I was just wondering, is there a specific reason why you're using those, just the one square?
Sorry?
So like, you know how you're putting all of the parts of the sword into like the one box?
Yes.
Is there a specific reason for it?
Yeah, like for example, this square here.
Yeah.
Okay, remember, all right, so that's a very good question, and I'll give you an answer. This, if you look closely, you see 0 to 1 space here. The reason why we have to put it within this 0 to 1 space is because that's how Maya will calculate the textures. In animation, and we're not doing animation, we would use up the others, like we use up here. That method is called UDIM. We're not using UDIM workflow for the virtual production. But, okay. So therefore, we have to stack them within this red and green indicated square. Just have to make sure they live in there. But if it was for animation, I would literally just be like, okay, I would literally just be like that and that, and you know, for animation, if I was working in the animation of visual effects, but I'm not. So I'm doing virtual production, and it's for Unreal Engine, so everything has to live within this 0 to 1 space. That's a very good question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, very good question. Yeah, because people need to know why it actually has to be in here versus like along the edges. And also, if it was for animation, you couldn't like go down here either, and you couldn't go to your left either. It won't show up in your UV package. But you could take stuff down here and kind of like unfold them, but later on you have to pack them back in here. Okay? Yeah. Good question. So next one I'm gonna go for, I'm gonna show a different technique with this. So we have this thing here. Press Ctrl S on your keyboard to save. Ctrl S to save. Just have to remember to save because we just did a lot of work. Alright, so this one we're gonna right click and go to edge, and I'm gonna zoom in, and I'm gonna pick one of these edges at the side and double click. So I double click it. I'm gonna go shift and hold, shift and right mouse button hold, and I'm gonna go to cut. So once I hit cut, you notice that there's a thick orange line where the seam is. That's all I need. It go all the way around, and I'm gonna press Q on your keyboard, right click, go to shell, select every shell here, then I'm gonna hit unfold. Once I hit unfold, you notice it's kind of like that. I could select everything and press W. We don't want a UV to overlap, so I'm gonna just take them and just simply rotate them neatly. What I'm doing right now is called kind of like packing, by the way. That's what we call it, packing. So after we unwrap, we pack them where they need to go. So I'm going to press Ctrl S to save. Okay, so now we're left with this guard piece. I think we could do the same thing for the guard piece. So I'm going to go right click, go to edge. I'm going to select one of the edge at the bottom, and it goes all the way around. You can see it loops all the way around. I'm going to right click and go right click and shift right click and hold. Go to cut it. Alright, I'm going to press Q on your keyboard, shift right click, go to shell, select everything, and I'm going to unfold it. So now that I unfold it, you notice that these two parts are like unfold for me, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm just going to grab these two that's done, the shell for them, and I'm just going to take this and put it over here for now. So now that we're done with that, we're left with these guys here. These guys are easy. So all we're gonna do, we're gonna go right click, shift. We're gonna click the one like so, shift click here, like so. And I think after you do that, we're gonna hold on, shift right click and cut. So you notice like I click like a loop around here, then I click a loop right here, and that is for that. We're only gonna do it for one of them, and then we're gonna copy the UV in a second. So I'm gonna show you how to do that, because we don't want to like actually have to go and copy all 10 circle or whatnot. So we don't want to have to do that. So we want to pick the easier way. So this one is done. We're gonna right click, go to shell, select the shell, and then I'm going to unfold. Alright, so you see that. I'm going to right click, hold on E for rotate, and I'm just going to rotate it and hit W. So this, I'm going to this one, I'm just going to put this over here for now, and I'm going to just minimize the viewport. And one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to right click, go to object mode, select the sword. I'm going to delete history, so I'm going to go edit, delete by type, history, and I'm going to save my scene. I'm going to select the sword, and then I'm going to go mesh, separate. So I kind of just separate the sword. I kind of just separate the sword for now, because I'm going to be doing like some transfer UV. If you look on here, you notice that this is the one that I cut and unfold, the one at the bottom. So how do we transfer the UVs from this one? And how the transfer UV works, these little ribbons, they have to be similar, guys. They have to be similar. So I'm gonna shift select one of the ribbons here. So if you look here, this one is the bad one, this one is the good one. So you select the good one, shift select the bad one, then you go to mesh, transfer attribute, option box. Then once you're in here, you want to go edit and reset it. The one that we're looking for, we want topology, and I'm going to hit apply. As soon as I hit apply, you notice the one that was laying over here, it goes and it goes over here. And you notice that the blue got a lot bluer, so that means that you have copy UVs there. Okay, so alright, so I'm gonna shift select the other one. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you can see it, and I'm gonna keep on hitting apply. Shift select the other one, apply. Shift select the other one, apply. Shift select the other one, apply. Shift select other one, apply. Shift select other one, apply. Shift select the other one. See that? Apply. Shift select this and hit apply. Shift select that, apply. Shift select this one, apply. Shift select last but not least, apply. So now that we have these here, I'm gonna just remember, you have to delete history on this. So you have to go edit, delete by type, history. Very good. So now that we finished with this, there's something that we need to do with these guys here. We need to right click, go to UV shell, and then under arrange and layout, you're gonna click on open up the arrange and layout, and just simply click on layout. Now they're huge. So I'm gonna press R to scale them down and kind of just put them off over here for now, because we're gonna reselect the sword. Let's see, reselect the sword and delete history on that too, and then we're gonna go mesh and combine. So we recombine the sword, and then we're gonna delete the history and rename this again to sword, just WORD. So now we have something like this. So everything is laid out, but now we have to do something called packing. So I'm gonna right click and go to UV shell, select everything that's here, and I'm gonna go layout. So once I lay it out, you see how evenly, I'm gonna minimize here over here. I'm gonna turn on the checker pattern. Now you see how easily our sword is, like everything is squared and everything in terms of checker pattern. This checker pattern is showing you exactly how your texture will be looking on your blade or the handle or your sword. And if you see any kind of stretching with a checker pattern, that's an indication to tell you that something is wrong, right? So now what do we do with the I'm going to turn off the checker pattern here. What do we do with these guys over here? All we need to do is just right click, go to shells, select them, and we don't want them to be so big, so I'm going to scale them down. I'm going to press R, just going to scale them down and probably just put them somewhere here. As you notice, they're kind of like touching the edge, and we don't want that, so I'm going to select everything and press R and just scale them in so they fit within this. So remember Tyler was asking about this area. Everything has to be fitting, so you can't have anything point like that. You can't have that, okay? You cannot have that, I should say. Cannot. So yeah, Tyler.
Does the size of, like, how big they are matter?
It does. It does.
Okay.
So the reason, that's a very good question. So the reason that they have to be, okay, so this area is like in terms of texture maps, I could tell you. So in terms of texture map, I'll go to Google. I'm going to type in examples of texture map size. Very good question. Okay. All right, here we are. This is a very good example here. So you remember that 0 to 1 space that we were dealing with? So if it's like, if that space, this square space was going to be 512, what would happen to your textures if you're working on like a movie, for example? Your texture will be, let me know. You could answer. If I was using 512 resolution and like my texture were like small, what do you think would happen to the texture itself?
If you make them bigger, it would get blurry, right?
No,
Like, it wouldn't be as
no.
solid.
If you make them smaller, it will blurry.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you remember back in the day when we see like PS2, PlayStation 2 textures, they were using like 1K. They were using like 512 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that like they actually when we were kids too, we were like, oh my god, the texture is so realistic. Oh my god. But it was like really 512, right? 1K is 2024, so this is bigger, and this is 2048. 2048 is huge. So going back to here, when the texture resolution we're gonna be texturing on, that means if we're gonna put some kind of writing on the blade, so all of this is like say 2K, for example. if we're gonna put some kind of blade engravement on here, the texture will hold up, right? At 2K, it will hold up. Even at 4K, it will even be more holding up. You understand what I'm saying? So, but if I was to take this blade here, I'm gonna press Ctrl S to save. If I was to take this blade that I know I'm gonna put some kind of engravement pattern on it, and if I was to squeeze it down like that, what do you think would happen, Tyler? Texture will blurry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because when you're making it a bigger size, so
yeah,
if you're making 518.
yeah.
If you're making it bigger,
Mm-hmm.
that blurs out the details on the sword.
If you make it bigger, it's gonna show up a little more crisp and more sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you could,
Okay.
yeah, you could make it more sharp. So now I could stack these how I want. Also, within here, you cannot make the shell overlapping each other like so, eh? So you can't make the shells like kind of like that. You can't let it like that. You have to give them enough space for themselves. Okay? All right. So we have completed the unwrapping stage. I'm gonna right click, go to object mode, and I'm gonna go file, save. So the unwrapping stage is complete, and then I'm gonna go file, save as, because we're gonna move on to another phase. And I'm gonna just type in 6 here. Remember, I told you, save multiple versions of your file. I cannot stress that enough. Okay, so I'm at version 6 right now. Okay, so now this is ready for texture painting. This is actually ready for texture painting. Now is 9:30, a little bit past 9:30. Take like a 15 minutes break and come back here at 9:45. Before you go on your break though, when you come back off of your break, if you have any questions, you could ask me. But for now, just come back, go take a look, couple minutes break, come back here at 9:45, and we'll continue along. Okay, thank you. So go for a break, go for a little break here, because we just cover a lot of material. Okay, all right, see you guys in a bit. So 9:45, come back here sharp, please. Thank you. Everybody's back. Give me a thumbs up if you're back. Is everybody back? Okay, Zhao Jing is back. Tyler is back. How about Biama? Omar is back. Biama, you're back?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. All right. So we're done with the UV unwrapping process. Is there anything anybody want to ask any question before I move on to the next step? Anybody have any question about this step before I move on to the next one? Okay, cool. Tyler, yeah? Tyler?
That meant to be a thumbs up, sorry.
Okay, it's all good. Okay, so so now we model the sword, we UV unwrap it. Now we're ready to paint the sword. So before we paint it, you guys don't know how to use Substance Painter as yet, so I'm gonna teach you how to use it. Okay. All right. So, but before you bring it over to Substance Painter, you want to go to click on here. There's a blue orb, and it brings up the hypershade. we already have like a sword material on here, but we're gonna, actually this is not bad actually. Let's see. Oh yeah, we already have a sword material. On here. Give me a second. Okay. If you don't have a sword material, you're gonna need a material on your sword before you bring it over to Substance Painter. Has to be on there. As you're gonna have like Lambert 1 and whatnot, and it has to have a name. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually save my scene again to version 7. Next thing I want to do is I'm gonna go to mesh and I'm gonna smooth it. So I smooth the sword. I go to mesh and smooth it once. Smooth. After I've done that, I'm going to go File, Export Selection. I'm going to create a new folder called Object. Object. We're going to go inside the Object folder. I'm going to call it Sword. And the file type, you want to search for, scroll down and search for FBX export. FBX export. So I'm going to copy this link, by the way, because we're going to need it. Copy it, Control C. And export selection. Good. Now, where does that file live? Well, I'm going to paste the selection because I copied it. And here is our sword.fbx. So at all times, you're going to have to know where your files are, guys. This is why I share the location of my files. And I'm hoping you're not saving stuff on your desktop. Or, well, if it's your home computer, I think that's fine. But just remember, like, when you try to bring it to school and stuff like that, if you try to bring it to school or, you know, other places, you're gonna need like a portable hard drive to bring your files over. Or if you're using OneDrive, that's cool. So now we're done with that. So I have, give me a thumbs up if you have a copy of Substance Painter. Anybody have a copy of Substance Painter? I have the Creative Cloud. Guys, anybody have a copy of Substance Painter? Hello? Give me a thumbs up if you guys don't. Nobody don't have it. So yeah, I asked you guys to see about how you could ask Paul to get that software last week. Remember I said Substance Painter and Maya and Unreal, 3 program I asked for last week. 3 program I asked it. How about Jiajing? Do you have Substance Painter? Okay.
No, I haven't.
You don't have it. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna open up this here. I'm wondering. Okay, so I'm still gonna teach the Substance Painter, but I'm gonna just let you guys know. Go ahead. How about Unreal Engine? Everybody have Unreal Engine installed? Everybody have one? Okay, good. So, which other classes you guys have? Let me just check my teams here. Let's see. I want to check. Okay, so please email Paul Lennart today. Please email Paul Paul Leonard today and ask about how do you get access to Substance Painter. Okay, please do that. Okay. So go ahead and do that. Who teaches you Unreal Engine, like Unreal Engine stuff? Yeah, my teams just crash. Yeah, my teams just crash on me. Did it crash for everybody?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
it crashed for me. Let me see if my recording is still going. Oh yeah, my recording is still going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I missing somebody here? There's somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I thought it was my teams.
Yeah, my team's crashed. You know, it crashed.
Yeah, I saw my what's it called? Be like
Yeah.
I thought it was me. So
No.
to make sure.
No. Like mine crashed. Mine crashed also. But our recording is still here. But yeah, in case you guys are wondering, I'm also double recording. I have a recording that I have my own software because I don't trust Teams. I do not trust Teams. So I have a double recording of the lesson.
That's fair. I would do the same thing.
Yeah, I don't trust it. It happened to me before. The students are like, "Oh, the Teams recording is not working," and I'm like, "Oh my God, we have to do over this lesson." So I have a backup recording. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. So I want to ask you guys just to start. Who teach you guys Unreal?
I think it's Nancy.
Okay, all right. I say Paul is the one. Paul is the one where you guys asked to get how to get Unreal, not Unreal Engine, but Substance Painter. You're gonna need it, especially today, because we're gonna be texturing the sword today, and next week is when the sword is due. Next week, Saturday. So next week is when the sword is due. So we want to sort out all that software issue today, this week, so we don't have that problem next week at all. All right, so go ahead, send Paul an email. I would like to get Substance Painter. How do I get it? Simple as that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys. All right. So I'm back here. Everybody see my mouse moving around? Everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Somebody's. I'm gonna. Okay. I just want to make sure everybody's seeing where my mouse is moving around. Yeah? Hello? Okay, just want to make sure. So this is Substance Painter, guys. What is Substance Painter? Well, you could Google what is Substance Painter. Okay, so according to this site here, Substance Painter is Adobe software for creating textures and material for 3D objects by directly painting them in real time on 3D objects. It functions like Adobe Photoshop but with 3D models, offering a layer-based system, customized brushes, smart material, streamlined texture process. This is an industry standard tool. It is used by 3D artists in games, visual effects, animation to add detail, realistic or stylized surfaces to their various creation process and engine. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to type this in the chat. So let's paste in the chat. What is Substance Painter? Just paste that information in the chat. But we're here for so I'm going to copy the location where I saved my sword, and I want to go File, New. The template that I want is gonna click here, and you could have middle mouse button, scroll down. The one that we want is called Unreal Engine Starter Pack. That's the template that we want, guys. That is the template that we want. Okay, in terms of resolution, so here we go, Tyler. This is what we're talking about. Document resolution. How big you want your document? Well, we don't want to do 1K. We don't want to do. We want to go 2048. Okay. 2048 is 2K. So that's good. You want to select files, so I'm going to click on select, and I'm going to paste the location of where I saved the file, and I'm going to get the Sword FBX. Follow me? Alright, I'm not going to check off anything else. I'm not going to use UV tile workflow. That is for animation and visual effects. Here's a very important part. Import settings. We don't want to import any camera, so we're going to check that off. And we don't want to import auto unwrap. We don't want that. Because if you leave auto unwrap on, guess what it's going to do? Can you guess what it's going to do? Auto unwrap. Anybody? What do you think it's going to do? It's going to automatic unwrap your asset that you already unwrap already. It's going to automatic unwrap it. So we don't need that on. So I'm going to check that out. And here we go, Tyler. So as soon as we open this up, you see there's like a 2D. Whoa, it's crashed. Oh my god, it crashed, guys. So I have to start over. I'm gonna start over.
I just want to say, I don't know if it's for everyone else, but I just see the team screen. I don't see what you're doing on the software.
Oh, you're not seeing what I'm doing?
Yeah,
okay.
same here.
Okay, hold on. Okay, it's a good thing it crashed, so I'm gonna start over. So I'm gonna stop. Yeah, it's a good thing it crashed, so I'll start over. Share my screen, and I'm gonna click on here. Thank you for letting me know. So is everybody seeing my Substance Painter screen? Have everybody seen my?
Yes.
How about how about my
Yeah.
mouse moving around?
Yep,
Yeah.
see it.
Okay, great. That's good. All right. It's a good thing it crashed though. So I'm gonna press next. And here we are. So we're starting over. So I'm going to go File, New. Everybody seeing that?
Yeah.
Template that we want to choose. You want to choose Unreal template, Unreal Engine, starter pack. You want to make sure you choose that. Very important. You want to select the file. The file that we want is the Sword FBX because that's where I save it. Get it? To document resolution 2048 is good enough for us. It's just a sword. It's a hero sword though. It's a hero sword. That's it. In terms of UV tile settings, we're gonna leave it as is. Import camera. Make sure the import camera is checked off. Make sure auto UV is checked off. Then you go ahead and press OK. Okay, hopefully it doesn't crash. Now you can go File and save your file. Where do you want to save this? Well, I'm going to save this in the location where I have my sword OBJ in my object folder. This is where I'm going to call it. And I'm simply just going to call it sword. Nothing fancy, just sword. Okay? Alright. So now that you're in Painter, we're not going to start painting as yet because I want to explain a few things to you. How do you move around in Substance Painter? It's the exact same way. If you know how to move around in Maya, it's the exact same way you move around in Substance Painter. If you know how to move around with Maya, you've been practicing like I asked you guys to last week. It's the exact same way you move around in Substance Painter. I'll go over it again. So if you want to zoom in, you could middle mouse button scroll. If you want to toggle, you press the Alt key and your left mouse button toggle and just rotate from side to side. You could hold down Alt and your middle mouse button, hold it down, and you could go like this. You could do Alt and your right mouse button, click and drag, and you could zoom in and out. Okay, so Alt and all those three buttons does a lot of things. So try it out for yourself. Now, as you can see, we have a 2D mode. We have a 2D mode over here. We don't have to look at the 2D mode if we don't want. But I highly recommend you have them side by side so you can see what kind of texture you're going to place on here. Okay. All right. Another thing I want to explain to you. You remember in your texture set, do you remember the material that we named? Remember, we're being nice and tidy. Guess what it's called in Substance Painter? It's called Sword Matte. Correct? If you didn't name it, it will have like Lambert 1 or Blaine 1 or whatnot. It just shows you the importance of naming your stuff, guys. I can't stress that enough. Because guess what? What if you're going to have a sword, a shield, a cart, maybe a few crates in your scene? You're going to have like Lambert 1 for all 10 of them, Lambert 1, Lambert 2, Lambert 3 for all 10, you know? What if you're in a part of a team? You don't want to stress your team out by not naming your things. That's the number one rookie kind of move. So if you look over here, texture set. If you look under the texture set, you see layers. Just like in Photoshop. You guys using Photoshop before? This is the layer. And you could just paint stuff on the layer if you want. See, I'm painting on a layer. See that? Go ahead and try it out. So layer 1 and stuff like that. I could delete this layer if I want, and I could recreate a new layer just by clicking on this paintbrush here. These are the properties underneath here. We'll go through that as we're painting the sword. We'll go through the properties. So these are the properties. It will show you a lot of different objects as soon as a material or a texture is being added to this sword. Okay. Alright, so this is the left hand side. If we go, this is the right hand side, sorry. If we should go to our left hand side over here, you notice on up here, this is the paint tool, self-explanatory paint tool. If you click on, if you put your mouse here, this is the eraser. If you put your mouse here, that's the pen tool, paint along path tool, just like in Photoshop. This is the projection tool. That is the polyfill tool. We're going to be using the polyfill tool a lot. Smudge tool, just like in Photoshop. Clone tool, just like in Photoshop. Eyedropper. And we have the Substance 3D Assets folder, like a website. So let's explain that. I'm going to big this up a little, this area a little bit big, because we're going to go in there right now. Alright. If you look at here where you can find a variety of material. Variety. Okay. Yeah, so another one that we have, if you click on the third icon here, these are called smart mask. Pretty sure I'll be showing you guys how to exactly use them once we start texturing the sword. But for now, because we haven't textured the sword, there's no really a practical demonstration I can use to show you that right now. We have to be texturing the sword first to be able to show that. But anyway, these are smart masks. So if you want like edge wear, dirt on your sword, these kind of give you a little starter thing. Then we have filters. Filters are like blur, bevel, color correction, contrast, all that stuff. In software pages, just like in Photoshop has filters, this has filters also. These are brushes. So remember, I have the paintbrush selected, but I could select different brush types here. I could select different. Everybody seen the brushes?
Yes.
So you can select different brush types here. If you just double click on one of them, then you could just paint over here. See that? See that? On the layer. You have different brush types and stuff like that. So maybe you want to hand paint dirt or grunge or grime on your sword. This would be the one to do it for you. Okay. So I'm going to delete that and I'm going to create a new layer again. So if you middle mouse button and scroll, there's like tons of brushes types in here. Tons. There's brushes like crazy. You can even make your own brush, right? Next to that you have alphas, meaning if you want to, I'm going to double click on one of these. If you want to like say I'm going to square bracket key is going to make your brush size bigger or smaller. So bigger, see bigger, you see that template here? I'm going to make that, I'm going to click on the brush, and then I could like scale down, and I could literally just put gonna scale this down. I could literally just put like a skeleton icon anywhere I want. See, I could just stamp it there. So in terms of like, if you could make your own black and white alphas and bring them inside of Substance Painter here and hold custom, and you could just you know, we're not texturing the sword that guy. We're not texturing it. We're just testing out a few things, going through the menus, see a little bit of possibility. Once we start texturing the sword, it's gonna be a lot more fun. So yeah, that's for the alpha. Play around with them. Try to learn a little bit. Here is the texturing. Here's a texture section. You could have your own textures, but Painter come with tons of textures. Okay. All right. Painter comes with tons of texture here. All right. Then you have environment. This is like, I never touched this section because it's like for HDRI and all that kind of stuff. The lighting of the program. And then you have the text tool. Text tool is self-explanatory. You could actually type text inside of Substance Painter. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end this session now, and I'm gonna send you guys on a quest to get Substance Painter to finish up your sword model, to UV unwrapping, finish up your UV unwrap, and just watch this little intro of Substance Painter and so forth. In the second session, which is going to be pre-recorded, I will move on to start texturing this sword today. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing and pause for a bit and ask you if you have any questions. So I'm gonna wrap up this session for early, a little bit, like half an hour early. Anybody have any questions, any concerns, anything that's bothering them? Now is the time to let me know. Anybody? Hey, Taha.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that thank you for fixing my problem last week with the software, because it went on crazy. So I was able to finish the three shapes that we worked on: the earth, the dice, and the Coke cans.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
So I'm gonna work on making sword today.
Wow! You just
able to ship.
Oh, you just started making the sword today? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to wrap up this. Anybody who is still working on the sword, it'll be very wise to wrap up that this week. To wrap up the modeling of the sword this week, because next week Saturday is due, and there's not gonna be any kind of extension at all. No kind of extension. So I advise you guys, whatever software problem you have, meaning like if you don't have mine installed or Substance Painter installed, reach out to Paul today, ASAP, get that sorted out. Okay? Please. Because like the assignment, we have to read it. Next week we're gonna even move on to a different topic. So we're gonna move on to a little bit of rigging and a little bit of animation for next week. So that's why we kind of want to hurry up and wrap the sword up between this week and next week. So the sword for me, in terms of teaching it, the texturing, is going to be wrapped up today. Okay? And you guys are going to get a recording of that for today. But for you could still continue working on your sword, but I highly recommend you finish modeling. Hi, Tyler.
You said that we're getting the texture lesson. Is that the recorded lesson for today?
Yes, that's what you're getting later on. Yes, you'll be getting that. Yeah. So I'll be going through how to texture the sword from start to finish in there. Yeah. All right. Zhao Jing, how's it going for you?
Yeah, I think I can handle the unwrap thing. I fixed all the problems I just have.
Okay. Bioma? Hi, Bioma.
Yes, Professor.
What's it going for you?
It's okay for me. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Okay. Omar, hi.
Hey, yeah, I'm doing okay.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm gonna end this lesson now, and let me know if you once I save the recording, I'm gonna send you a screenshot of where I think by now you guys know where the recordings are saved, but if it's not there, because Teams kind of crap out on us, if it's not there, just send me a message and let me know, because I have a backup recording in case that happens. All right, so look out for this second session, which starts at around 12, but I think once I upload the second video, I will also let you know in the Teams chat. Check the Teams chat regularly, because that's where we communicate in a lot, so forth. Remember, your goal today is to get Substance Painter, finish up modeling the sword, and start UV unwrapping. And then, you could even start texturing next week if you want. It's just that everything has to be done by the Saturday of the 20th. Okay? Alright, so with that being said, it's been a pleasure, guys. Sorry for being late this morning. But we're gonna be doing very good with it, especially the texturing part is very exciting. So looking forward to doing that in the second session today. So take care, guys. Have a lunch. Enjoy your lunch or your breakfast, and I will see you guys next week.
Have a good week.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.